This is Newsmax TV. I'm Ashley Martella. More and more Americans are paying close attention to the Ground Zero Mosque project, and recent polls have shown a strong majority opposes it. The families of 9/11 victims and survivors of the terrorist attacks are voicing their opposition in a new video, We Remember.
This mosque, it's wrong. It's so wrong.
Our first task at Ground Zero is to simply preserve the sanctity of the site.
I can't let the actions of the passenger and crew of Flight 93 go in vain. As long as they need us to speak for them and to continue the fight that they began, I'll be here to do it.
We promise never forget. Is that just meaningless words on a bumper sticker faded by the sun? Well, give me a break.
We understand they can build where they want to build. All we ask them to do is to use some good sense and think about what they're doing.
The group behind the video is Keep America Safe, which says its mission is to provide information for concerned citizens about national security. Joining us on the phone is Debra Burlingame, a co-founder of Keep America Safe, along with its chairman Liz Cheney and Bill Kristol. She's the sister of Charles Burlingame, the pilot of the hijacked plane that crashed into the Pentagon on 9/11. She's co-founder of 9/11 Families for a Safe and Strong America and a director of the National September 11th Memorial and Museum Foundation at the World Trade Center. Nice to have you with us, Debra.
Nice to be with you.
Why do you think both interest in and opposition to the Cordoba Mosque project are building?
I think as people hear about this, the more they hear about it, the more they hear about this imam and his other organizers, that they really just on a visceral level object to it. They understand that what happened on 9/11 in lower Manhattan affected them, affected the country, and I think they intuitively understand that having a mosque there, a 15-story towering structure overlooking that site, will send a very bad message to the world. It will allow our enemies to use it essentially to recruit. It will be seen as a sign of triumph, and they don't want it. They just viscerally don't want it, and it has nothing to do with their regard for Muslims or freedom of religion.
Having lost a loved one in the 9/11 attacks, what message do you think the Mosque project sends, and what are you hearing from other 9/11 families?
What I'm hearing from other 9/11 families is just the raw anguish over this happening. You have to remember that in lower Manhattan, 1.8 million tons of debris, their loved ones were ripped to pieces. The recovery workers, over a period of 9 months, collected 20,000 body parts. They were strewn from river to river, several blocks north and as far away as Brooklyn. Some of those remains were only found in the last 5 years. The site has never been completely searched for more remains, and they view it as a graveyard. And in fact, the Memorial Museum will house some 15,000 unidentified remains. 1,000 family members never got anything to bury. So for them, this is a sacred place consecrated by literally the flesh and blood of their loved ones. And it's just taking them back to a very bad day that for them has never really ended. And some of them have called me and told me that they feel that themselves emotionally disintegrating again all over. It's very, very painful for them.
Are you disappointed that President Obama said Muslims have a right to build the mosque 2 blocks from the World Trade Center site?
I think it was really, truly an unfortunate thing for him to say, because he was suggesting to the entire world, and he was speaking to the Muslim world in particular, that Americans are bigots, that Americans are not have no religious intolerance, which really is a slander on his own countrymen. But then he turned around the next day and he said that, well, I'm not suggesting that building the mosque is a wise decision, which to me completely canceled out what he'd said the day before, and basically exposed what misdirection it was. That reasonable people who have nothing against Muslims can disagree about it, and that putting it there can be a painful thing that perhaps shouldn't happen. So I think what he did was the worst kind of demagoguery and grandstanding. And I think in a way it most certainly hurt our country because it sent a terrible message to the Muslim world that Americans are bigots. And in 9 years, you haven't seen anti-Muslim demonstrations here, despite the tremendous attack that killed so many in such a brutal way by Muslims in the name of Allah. We didn't see that kind of bigotry, and I was very proud of Americans.
How can this mosque controversy be resolved, do you think?
I think that the more that we focus a laser on the money, on the $100 million that they are going to need and more to actually run it, I think that's the way, because they're setting up as a 501c3. They're not going to be able to hide this money. They're not going to be able to hide who they get it from. And I think Americans will rise up and be outraged if we find out that Saudi Arabia, which has financed the Wahhabi fundamentalist extremist mosques that are being built in America and all over the world, and who financed 9/11 and 15 of the hijackers, I think that could be the way to end it. This imam needs political cover, and it is not for nothing that they went to the politicians first before they went to the people or 9/11 families and said, please support us. They went to the politicians. There's a reason for that. They can't do this without political cover.
Debra Burlingame, co-founder of Keep America Safe and so many other causes to help 9/11 families. Thank you so much and good luck.
Thank you so much.
And thank you for watching Newsmax TV.